Meow, 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 meow. Okay, let's put this thing on. Wait, what? Huh. I didn't know Liliana was in the set on any art. Oh! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I need these. Oh no. I need these so bad. Can I see? Oh, it's just one. Okay. I think I need these. Yeah, I need those. I need those. Wait, where's that test deck I made? Oh, is it gone? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just testing the token thing. Mouse pad, please. Oh yeah. Oh, this is great. Oh yes. This is probably the best thing I've ever purchased in my life, actually. Oh, yes. I was just trying to see what their layout was. I thought there were more standard commanders than that. Well, there are. I don't own all of them. I actually kind of want to play this one. What's the last mono green commander I played? Oh, it was Storm Soul. Right. What about before that? That might have been it in standard. I think the one before that in standard was this thing. Put a counter on this. It gets hexproof. What cares about one-way counters in standard? Put a 1-1 counter. So legendaries and spiders get counters. Okay. Wow. I'm kind of surprised I've never seen anyone play this. I don't think I've ever seen this cast. Cast the exile card. I don't know what I could put under this that feels like really crazy. Oh, a Johnny. Upkeep, return a creature. Otherwise... I guess snakes can veil. Two counters on it. Whenever a creature you control a counter, put a creature on this. This is kind of like the costume closet, but green. Oh, that's scary. That's not bad, I guess. Although I don't know, maybe I shouldn't play anything that costs like 5. Well, there's definitely a 1/1 counter situation here. I don't know if I want to play this right now, though. I kind of want to play the weird rampant girl thing. I've only seen it once. Like, how good is this? What are the fives? There's only one way to do this on turn 2? As far as I'm aware. It's just linear elves. Yeah, that looks like the case. Is there any... In web is 3? Ugh. So you tap, tap, turn... Wait, turn 1? Land... 1... Tap... Tap... Doesn't work. What about you? No, there's no way to do it here. You can't play this on turn 1 and then have 2 mana on turn 2. Or 3 mana on turn 2. I don't think that's possible in standard. Like, just literally impossible. Like, there's not a single card that lets you do that. If we had Prismatic Vista, but we do not. There is no way to do that. Dang it. It's so close. It's so close. It just has Llanowar Elves. If it isn't Llanowar Elves, how bad is it on turn 3? I think this is really bad on turn 3. Is it? You can... Like, is this just Golos at home? It kind of is. It's Golos without the wheel spin thing. Which... Oh, it's mono green too, but like, can mono green Golos work? I've played mono green Golos in paper. It worked with like the world tree just for the activation. Just get the world tree. So I'm sure it could work here. I want it to work. I haven't really played like a dedicated ramp green thing in standard. I mean, green mostly does it anyways, but like all in on it. Can probably play enough deserts for the worm. Probably. Play all the big stuff. Could play Gigantosaurus, but this is... It just doesn't have trample. It just sort of stares at your opponent. Steel Hellkite would be kind of cool. I never hit someone with that. Roaming Throne. Eh. I don't know if there's enough just tap out for a big expensive card thing to do in Standard. It must survive to get the counters. I mean, it's a big dumb card. I've seen Gruff triplets more than I thought I'd ever see Gruff triplets. Or whatever the original... I'm pretty sure there was a different version of this. From like Time Spiral or something. I can't remember what it does. The old 12-8. Yeah. We could easily play Ujin. Gold Vein is maybe interesting. So if I'm doing this for 5... kind of don't care about Gold Vein, honestly. Oh, can't forget Ouroboros. I still don't like Darksteel. It does have Trample. It does have Trample. To be fair. Aether Spark is interesting with a bunch of giant creatures. Is there any way to... Okay, so tap... Tap. On turn 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so on turn 3, Molt Tender and Gene Pollinator are actually pretty good. But it's not the same. It's not the same. I don't want to play Spring Bloom Druid. Okay, maybe no Worm. Because no map Frontier. Ankle Biter? On turn 3? This can tap outside of combat on turn 3? How wild is that? That feels maybe too insane. Brambles. If it's turn 3, it could just be something like this, actually. It doesn't have to be something like Ankle Biter. doesn't have to be that many 3-drops. Another creature. Could have counter. No, Miss Breath is just going to get in the way. What about another ankle biter? Saddling can do the same thing. Saddle 1, tap, swing. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so saddle on turn. Oh, wait, no. Turn 2. It's still a turn 3 scenario. Really? That's all the green 1-drops? Fungus Snake. Nice. Ginger Brute can reliably get in there, I guess. But it can also just be a 2-drop, if that's the case. It doesn't have to be like this. And if that's the case, it probably shouldn't be the ankle biter. It should just be like generic Manadork. Like that. It might be free to just play Crawling Barrens as this thing to dump mana into. Maybe the Aether Spike is weird here. Twitching Doll? Yeah, it might just be better. Okay, so it's very hard to get this in play turn 2. There's only one way to do it. Every other time is turn 3. I don't know, is having Rapier Growth on turn 3. Cast this spell for... Inweb takes commander tax, right? This isn't like ninjutsu or something. Pretty sure that it costs more each time, which shouldn't be a big deal after the first time. So, perfect case scenario is turn 2. And then turn 3 would be a 5-drop. But that only is functional with Llanowar Elves, so I don't have to play a bunch of 5s just for the chance of that. Actually, I still probably should remove these 2 cards. Anything that ramps me is not as big of a deal when this is your commander. Okay, I think Crawling Barrens is not going to work out. I envision that just ruining everything. So 5 mana, kind of anything ever will work. This works with the commander. Whenever land enters, you get a bird that scales with lands. We play lands. What about you? 5-mana 4/4, and then for 4-mana it becomes a 8 and then 16. Don't trample. I thought this was already in here. Oh, it is now. Oh, that was the other deck. I feel like this just barely works. Oh, there's also Poison Dart Frog. Be gone 1/3s. Give me the frog. The frogé. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is hilarious. But I have played against it once. I kind of like what it's doing. Yeah, let's try this. I don't really want to play the 1/1 counter deck right now that I just put together. Alright, we're going to play Zan, Tunnel Web Explorer. 5-mana 4/3. When it enters Rampant Growth, it has In Web for 3, which is return a tapped creature, and then this just goes into play for 2 less mana. This is exceptionally good on turn 2, and that is with Llanowar Elves exclusively when it comes to Standard. So 1 into 3 into, and then ideally some kind of 5 is the far and away the best thing you can do in a deck like this, and there's just only one way to do it, unfortunately. Molt Tender and Pollinator can not do this. There's no Prismatic Vista fetch land kind of thing for this, and there's nothing for this except, ooh, is there like Memnite? Do we have Memnite Ornithopter? I didn't even look. Okay, this would die. It would die immediately, so that doesn't work. Yeah, there's just no way to get those to work, but they work on turn 3. Right, you can tap a land to this thing on turn 3, and then still have 3 mana for this, and then this just taps itself to do that. So they still work there. Ideally, not involving combat is kind of the thing with those, whereas if your 1-drop dies, then you don't have a creature to, you know, do the thing. But if you're doing it on turn 3, you can also do it with a 2-drop all the same at that point, and that is far and away the most average outcome with this commander, and I think it's okay on turn 3. I think that's okay, right? I mean, casting Cultivate on turn 3 is not as crazy as turn 2, but it's still fine, I suppose. There's a lot of room in a mono-green deck like this to not play a bunch of ramp spells, because you have one in the command zone, and after the first time you cast it, it slowly turns into like a mono-green Golos at home, and that's kind of okay. This effect is exceptionally powerful, and I've played mono green Golos on on paper, and you know, with the World Tree as your lands that you get all the time, so you just can activate Golos. But I've played I've played so many variants of Golos that I recognize this ability as very good. Like, there's times where you get a basic with Golos, right? Golos is banned in normal EDH, a different format, I know, but I think this effect is actually fine, right? And it's kind of cool to play a Pauper commander. I think that's pretty neat. Obviously, your deck can't beat Pauper. But Up the Beanstalk works with this, which is very interesting. I don't know if playing Beanstalk before doing the Llanowar Elves in-web thing is right, ever. You're probably just not casting this over this. But, hey, you know, I never really get a I give this many chances to thrive, because most decks aren't going to get away with something like this, I feel. But I do see this card from time to time still, even in decks where they'll have like 5 cards that work with it. There are some interesting lands. There's like Crawling Barrens was something I was ahead in here for a second, but I don't know. I have Archduous Charm. I have triple green cards. I don't really see myself as just sinking a bunch of mana into Crawling Barrens, but who knows. But yeah, let's see what Rampant Growth looks like in the command zone. In Standard, at least. I don't think... In Historic Brawl, you have a ton of cards. Honestly, you're almost guaranteed to play this on turn 2 every game. And that's pretty nice, but that's not the same as Azusa, I feel, which is doing something somewhat similar. And Azusa has a lot of power behind its effect, whereas just Rampant Growth doesn't necessarily do the same thing in that regard. I mean, you could, I guess, play, what is it, Loot? You could play Loot in that, with that line of... Oh, that's not how you spell Loot at all, is it? No, it's not. Oh, I have the filter on there. Yeah, like, Loot is kind of the Azusa of Standard. I remember I played this in Standard and activated it like 2 times because it kept dying, and I whiffed both times. It's like unbelievable. But Loot might just be better than this, but I don't know. I'm gonna play some Pauper. Let's do it. Someone's got to do it. Oh, I can also complete my quest. Look at that. Look at that. Totally intended. I gotta start deleting some of those incomplete decks and stuff. I'm seeing like new deck parentheses 4. I don't know if I've ever seen 4. Disciple of Progenitus. Well, that's not a 5-color commander. You've lost. Although Relic of Progenitus is colorless. Alright, we cannot blitz mulligan for Llanowar Elves every game. I'm not going to do that. I mean, it could. I'm not above it. Alright, what do you got? Also, I got these new emotes. These are the best things of all time, and I'm glad I have them. Can just play this one? How likely am I to offspring this? Let's just play this one. They both die to the same things. It's just a Menadork, you know. If they kill it, it dies, and so be it. And it did die. All right. Let's play another one. Oh wait. We should probably at this point, because we lost our in-web ability, not get stonewalled by removal a second time, and just guarantee I can hardcast my commander. Okay, I'm going to keep my opponent preoccupied by playing Threatening Lord Presence cards, which could thoroughly disrupt their ability to do anything else, because they have to deal with my stuff. Also, what does this do? I don't even know. Unblockable. Loot, sure. Threshold. The threshold is you just don't discard. Alright, they found a Saga card, which doesn't stay in play. Like, this doesn't stick around forever. So, of all the things they could have done, not too upset with that one. We'll see. I'm sure my opponent knows what to do after that goes away. Alright, well, if I can't play the game, I guess it doesn't matter what they reanimate. Okay, well, I'll just play something that's categorically more difficult to deal with. There you go. They did not do the thing with that. They pick up a thing. Massacre Worm? Oh, of course they got Bringer. Of course they did. Of course. So my graveyard is nothing. I can play this and swing for a bunch of damage and then lose a game. That's just the last bit of damage I'll probably ever put into my opponent's face. I don't think I can win from 16. Boom, boom. Yep, alright. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to see where that's going. Oh, all the disruption into the perfect mill creatures. I mean, there's nothing I can do. That entire game went into my opponent's favor every turn. These are 3? Yeah, okay. I wonder if Chocobo's even right. It's not ideal to ever in-web my Chocobo. Do I play that Beanstalk? I don't know. Oh, whoops, I forgot to play my land. I just swung for 0. Oh no, what have I done? That's funny. Well, that's a reason to not play Chocobo. I don't know how to play with it. Let's play this. And then that. Okay, we're gonna take the... I really don't know if I'm supposed to pick up my... Hold on. Maybe I'm just not supposed to pick this up. I don't know if I'm supposed to pick that up. Alright, I think I'm just picking up the Chocobo, because I want the mana next turn. I think it's rather crucial that I have the mana next turn, so yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, Chocobo might want to be just like a 1/1 Death Toucher or something. And the card is stuck on my screen again. Okay, so... Ugh. I really want to play this, but... I'm going to play this. Okay, we did find a land. I feel like maybe playing more pressure was the right idea, but who knows? I certainly don't know. What's the crew on this for? So... land... I mean, I'm just playing an honest game of Magic here, right? We're just playing cards. Our commander can die infinitely. I can't say I'm concerned about that. I'll keep up with my opponent in terms of cards this game as well. Can't swing with the Chocobo. Yes, I can. I'm gonna get a land. The funny Chocobo's the size of it, even having picked it up. This is not lethal? No, it's not. They don't have to block anything. I feel like you should at least block with the Rust Dine, though. It's not doing anything. No, you should block the 8-4. That you shouldn't give me my commander back. It is a card draw with the Beanstalk. I would just block the 8-4. I really don't think this matters, but who knows? Maybe it does. Doubt it though. Cards are continuously stuck on my screen. It's like a new bug or something. I don't know. Well, here's where we just get, like, completely demolished by River's Rebuke. Wait, why did it... Oh, there it is. Like, why did that not work? Opponent is playing Famished Worldsire. Huh. That would mill them out if they had Ice Till in play at the same time. It's certainly not free. Case of the Lost Spaghetti, sure. That is Zombify. Okay. That is Random Mana Dork, sure. Can they play another land? I've lost track. I'll take that as a new. They can't swing. I don't think they care to, but they can't. Okay, let's play you, because it's annoying. Yeah, we should probably play this. More creatures in play is probably just a good idea. And this is a bunch of different creatures. This has Death Touch. I can think about that. Probably not right now. Let's play World Wagon again? It leaves behind something. I mean, so does Overlord, but I could cast Overlord for the real thing later. This lets me swing with the Chocobo. Is that what I want to do? Oh no, it doesn't let me swing. What am I talking about? Okay, I can't do anything. Well, it wasn't River's Rebuke, but it still was not ideal. Oh look, it's River's Rebuke. Wow. No way. Okay, I was expecting a counter spell. Now what? Oh, this discard 2 cards, huh? They can't play Lumra, I don't think. Oh, I guess they can. Yeah, they can if they want to. It won't really do anything, so probably just not a good idea, but if they want it to, they can. Alright, do you have a reanimate spell? Can I be done? Just need a reanimate spell, that's all you gotta do. Nothing else matters. Okay, now they cannot play Lumra. But that's not what the game is about. Okay, they did play Lumra. I'm pretty sure they couldn't do this. Maybe I'm tripping? Okay, they're 3 off. Never mind, they can survive it. Still a little reckless, I would argue, but sure. Okay, they just had a... They had a Crater Hoof the whole time and dirtled and wasted my time. Alright, nice. Could have just reanimated that and not done anything else, and I would have died. I beat a lot of things there, just not specifically River's Rebuke. Normally River's Rebuke's not a big deal in Standard. I want to say hello twice. Interesting. When this leaves the battlefield, make a food token. Very interesting. Alright, look at us go. Look at us do the thing. By all means, opponent. Kill my commander. I don't know what else would make sense other than like casting their commander. Okay, sure, that's what they chose to do. So I mean, there must be some kind of removal spell. I don't know what else we're thinking about here. But suppose this is the best idea. Yeah. Does this stop my opponent from swinging? Nope. Not really. Okay, they just didn't sacrifice the food token. Interesting. Alright, I automatically lose to a removal spell, so there's nothing I can do. I just like, immediately lose to it. And last turn they were thinking about something, so it's painfully obvious it's a removal spell. Yep, they would have played this pre-combat to give it counters, so there's a removal spell there. Huge problem for us, I'm not going to lie. Huge problem. So let's play this and Llanowar Elves? Does playing Llanowar Elves matter? No, not really. I'm going to do it anyways. And then we're going to hide. So I have... Ooh, no, not quite. Too many creatures get tapped. I think. Alright, they choose to do it right now. Let's block here, here, here. Let's keep the real one. No, the real one dying is irrelevant. Let's just do that. And then... Actually, wait, what if I just did this? Yeah, what if I did that? Okay, not quite at all what I was expecting as the card my opponent was going to do there. There is a removal spell in my opponent's hand. Like, there just is. So, Craterhoof taps all those. We have 4 attackers, and they get plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get 7, so 28 plus 32, 33, 34. Lethal, if they kill the 5, these all get 7, so this is 30. Still lethal. Through Shoot the Sheriff or something equivalent. It looks like they just... Well, again, if they had a removal spell, it wasn't enough. But, yeah, the casting the commander... They thought on that one turn forever, and then you just cast this. And then they thought again and cast this post-combat, which doesn't make sense. So there's definitely a removal spell. And, yeah, they could eat the food here, but that's not enough. And killing one creature and double blocking is not enough either. Sweet. We also did the 1 into 3 thing, didn't we? We did, yeah. That was the Llanowar Elves game. Which I would argue probably did matter. Probably mattered there. Like, was I going to win if it wasn't exactly that? I don't know. It would look different, I guess. This is... Gisa? Wait, what is this? Mudflat Village. Okay. It's a mono removal deck, so... Oh, there it is. They figured it out. Let them go. Alright, let's see how fast we lose because of that. Okay, I did find land. I don't think there's anything I can cast next turn that matters. Wait, why did they do that? They could have just played Twitching Doll. That would have been better. Yeah, that would have been better. Land, lose a game. Alright, we're done. A land is not going to save me. I found a land. It's not going to do anything. Well, that's the first time that's happened, so I'm not too stressed about that. Yeah, I'm going to take out Chocobo. I don't really like Lumra. There's not many options, but I don't really like Lumra. I don't put lands in my graveyard, really. Glimpse the Core should be a mana dork, and just not Glimpse the Core. I don't think it really matters what mana dorks I play. I can't play I mean, I can play Heirloom. I can play Heirloom. But it's not the same. Captain Howler? Huh? Who? When? Shark Pirate, discard a card. Oh, that thing, okay. On the draw, no one drop. I'm gonna try to mulligan this. On the draw with the one drop. It's the 2 1-drops we would rather not have, but the ones we got. We'll take what we get. We play... Ooh. It doesn't quite matter, so I'll just play this one. It doesn't matter too much. Either way, it's always a turn 3 commander. Like, even if they kill one of them, it's just the same thing, so... Okay, what does this actually do? Combat on your turn. You loot if you have something with stuff. Alright. You can just see the insane difference between these two and Llanowar Elves here. It's just absolutely insane. What? Choose basic land. Okay. Swing. Do it. Swing. Yeah. Alright, I don't lose to a counter spell. I don't even have to play my commander here. I can pick that up, do that. Boom, boom, boom. I probably should. Of all the things that I can do, that might be the best one to do. Oh, wait a minute. We can just swing, though? No, no, no. We should actually play this and then lose to negate. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, they don't have negate, so everything's fine. This way, my commander just gives that haste and whenever that comes up. I'm not really interested in milling with this right now, but maybe I could have. Maybe that was actually right. 5, 6... Yeah, okay. It would have enabled... Oh, but this has ward. Okay, so I wouldn't have been able to do what I want, though. But I could have cast Ujin next turn if I had milled a card here. And who knows, maybe that was the right thing to do. We're taking a slower approach now. Oh, it can target anything. Alright, I didn't know that. So... Green. Don't tap Molt Tender, because it doesn't matter. Yeah, it just does not matter. Let's play you. I will always swing with this. This helps me pay for ward on Ujin, if that's what I end up doing, and it's looking like that is what is going to happen. 6, 7, 8, 9. Ujin's not even like the end of the universe here, unfortunately. It's still really good, though. Oh, I mean, it can be really good. Okay, I don't lose to Spell Pierce. That's ideal. They only swing with that, huh? Is it me, or is that just weird? Okay, I don't think I missed lethal with the Crater Hoof there, but maybe I did. Let's play this. Pay 2. I have to pay in a way that taps all my stuff. That's annoying. So maybe I don't do that. Alright, I'm going to take this out, because I don't want to do that. And do this. Oh, love to see that. Love to see that. Sure. Okay, so now Ujin must die. Probably. I don't know if they expect another colorless card. I don't have a lot. But it is drawing 2 cards a turn and gaining 3 life. Alright. Looks like we're not going to have Crater Hoof here. Oh, they didn't kill my commander? What? Okay. Okay. I mean, it's all about that last mana. I didn't have it. Okay, so I win. I think. Play this for another creature. Pretty sure I win here. Nice. Look at that. Look at that. 14. Yeah, close. Yeah, they just tried to go all in and remove my reality. There was some kind of argument to getting rid of this. It would have required that I tap the Molt Tender for mana, which I just declined to do. But if I did, I could have exiled this more easily. And yeah, but I think it's kind of difficult to kill me from there. but they came close. They came close. They did come close. Alright, let's see who has liner rails. Not me. Is that okay? Sure. Why not? They don't have it either? Okay. They're playing Fabled Passage in a mono green deck. A little weird. I guess there are landfall cards, Bristly Bill and stuff. Still a little strange. I just don't like this. Like, if you have liner rails, you're gonna feel kind of bad that you did the thing. Oh, look, it's Bristly Bill. So... we did it. Yay. I'm not gonna do that. I can start doubling this. Is that a good idea, though? Yes? My opponent, like, has to kill it. And I don't know how they do that, so... okay, well, they have the best combo ever out of their deck right now. The only fetch land that gets, untapped lands here. They didn't spam it. They could have just spammed that card. I don't know why they did that. Could have just simply looped it infinitely there. Alright, I can double only once. Why are you giving that up? Oh, because it doesn't matter, right? Alright, well, Ice Till Explore Galta Bristlyville is better than Rampant Growth. I'll say that much. Yep, I'm not even going to waste my time from here. Fabled Passage Ice Till is just like the best thing in the observable universe, and they have it. So, Bristly Bill giving counters, and then a free Gulta. That is way too good for what I can do to stop it. I can't do anything, actually, to stop it. Forgot Cavern of Souls was even in my deck. Yep, play that. I will... another very annoying dilemma with this stupid Beanstalk. I think I'm just casting this. What if I just didn't? What if I did this instead? Ugh. Alright. Beanstalk, you are in the way, buddy. What the heck is that thing? Okay. Was not expecting that. Land, land, land. No, let's just play you instead. Oh, stop having cards. Come on. I'm just dead. Yeah, ridiculous. Alright, well, we did all the stuff we wanted, just not fast enough. It's funny that trying to... Yeah, I mean, I didn't have time to cast the Beanstalk. Just full stop, didn't have time to cast it. Although I don't think any alternative would have been good. Anyways, my opponent just continuously answered any problem I presented, so... Doesn't really matter anyways, now does it? I could have played Sire of Seven Death as well, as like a potentially very good thing. Well, we have Lanorels, the rest of the hand, maybe a little weird, we'll see. Again, we have another card that's like just better than my commander to just do something with, so. We're playing around Wash Away, we have PTSD. Although I played into Spell Pierce though, so. That is a card? Sure. Alright. You. So 5. Lose that. What if I just full retailed it? Yeah, why not? It's kind of mana neutral, because I'd pick this up. But then I still can't, like, deploy the Poison Dart Frog and this, so. It's the same, without my opponent knowing that this is in my hand. The value. No, I'm just gonna... We're playing this. I could swing. Should I swing? Sure, yeah, I can redeploy my commander pretty easily. I'm okay with this. This is effectively, Binding the Old Gods. When it kills something. It's just like better than Binding because it costs 3. Alright, so you have to cast... Yep, there it is. No surprise there, I suppose. Now you have to cast a 2. This is scary. This is a lot of damage. I like damage here. Let's name... anything. And then you. And now we're in the you must have River's Rebuke kind of department. It's like just River's Rebuke. Yep, pretty much. I don't think Frogifies do it here. Straight to combat. Interesting. Okay. Let's go straight to combat. Go straight to combat. Aetherize, attacking creatures. There is nothing I can do about that. To my hand they go. Let's play... I don't really need Beanstalk. I like mana. Yeah, more mana is fine. Can I plot this? It's 4? So... You? Okay. Kind of meh, but more mana just lets me survive and stuff. It's hard to find turns to, like, build an engine, like, up the beanstalk and stuff. It's just, like, hard to do that when I'm trying to kill my opponent before they just win by casting things. What does that do? Enters counters, upkeep, counters, remove it, draw. Sure, so it's a little bit of card draw there. Get in there for 2. This is inside combat, okay. I'm not gonna do anything with that. Okay, let's play you. Yep. This is a card my opponent does not want to see resolve. Alright, that's a good sign that it did resolve. Let's go straight to combat, swing here. There is some kind of spell, because there's no combat nonsense. I will play the thing I miss the least. Actually, we could just play this. It does draw a card. I'd rather plot this, though, and then play these. My opponent has perfect information, though. Well, so be it. I'm a mono green deck. There are no surprises. And this also prevents my opponent... If they have to leave up mana for whatever that is for the rest of the game, I am completely fine with that. Does that work? It does, yep. X for 2, sure. Of course it works, it just worked here. Actually, it's the only thing they've done. The only thing they've done is that. Of course it works. It's just X spells. Still leaving up this counterspell, love to see it. If they're locked under this much mana with a counterspell, I feel like I'm just winning. Sure. I would counter one of these. I would not counter this here. But that's what they did. Let's play you. Sure. Yep. Oh, that's why. Because they have infinite counter spells. Silly me. Let's play you. Must answer threat. Yep. I like that. And then this thing. Let's go to combat first. Let's go to combat first. Let's see how they deal with this. I'm not going to make a giant goofy token, and I'm not concerned about the amount of mana my opponent has, extra treasure tokens or whatever to me. I'm already presenting a massive issue, so... I don't need this to be a 12-12. Isn't that a legendary? Oh, it makes non-legendaries? Oh, sure. Alright, they're doing stuff. They're doing the thing. They've done more with this than I've ever thought possible. Exclusively with X spells, mind you, so you can choose how much. Oh, hey, a Death Touch creature. Look at that. Alright, out of gas. All in. They're not even trying to be cute with anything. They're just presenting the cards in play. I lost my mana generation inside of combat. I can double that to a lot. Oh wait, I can double it here. I can double it here. So tap that in web here. This just gives me more mana to play with, and pretty, yeah, I was about to say, it's pretty easy to redeploy the land anywhere else. Not a big deal there. This is a situation where River's Rebuke is kind of the best thing they could have, and it's not lethal. In fact, it doesn't do a good job at closing the game out, especially how I can pretty reasonably rebuild here. I don't know how many cards this drew. But yeah, this is continuously awkward to try to put into play, because taking a quote-unquote turn off to deploy stuff like this isn't that free. But here we could do it. My opponent actually ran out of cards. They did everything their commander wanted to do. They played every single card. All the counter spells and Etherize on like 20 points of power. Everything they wanted to do. But none of it, like, closed the game out. I didn't really think of X spells with this. That makes it a lot easier. But you have to play, like, this. You know, you have to play cards like that to make it work in the first place. And you also have to get it off of 1 to start that X thing anyways, which explains this 1-drop. I think I actually had it in my mock list, because you just need 1 mana cards to start this going, which means you have some really bad and questionable draws in a board state like this. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely a very clunky commander. Very clunky commander. I feel like I have allergies right now, but it's like the wrong time of year to have those allergies. Uh-oh. Alright, Linear Elves. Come on, buddy. Okay, well, I can't keep this. This isn't Ketramos, but it might as well be. Alright, I'm just keep anything. I think we have an uphill battle here. Probably even more of an uphill battle. Well, maybe. I don't know. So, like, the last deck we played that was mono green standard might even have a harder time of it. I don't know. Well, they're on the play with the Mana Rock, so it's already looking really bad. Ursa? Huh? What? I guess I just get rid of this? I don't know. Sure? Does it matter? Does anything matter? I can get rid of this. That's awful too, yeah. Why did they just do that? What? Was that a mistake? Well, yep. I'm going to assume it was not a mistake, and I am doomed in some capacity. Because of that. Probably not a mistake. It's also not really that big of a deal that they did it anyways. I can't swing. Yeah, I'll do it back to them. So Ujin can be good if it is like at least a 7-mana uncounterable Vindicate that could amount to something, maybe. I could have played the Poison Dart Frog to double block. That seems weird though. What the heck is this? Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink, Renew, exile this card from your graveyard. Okay, well it's only as a sorcery. Alright. Get in there. Get in there, Beanstalk. It's time. It's time to be a problem. Yes. The card advantage is real. Oh yes, look at that. Counter it all day. I get cards. Go on. Go on. That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Alright, well they left up men. They could have done this, but they didn't do that. Oops! This is an artifact creature. They drew 2 cards. I probably should have discarded a land. Not ideal. Not very ideal. But this is an abysmal matchup anyways. I'm gonna say that doesn't matter in the slightest. Yep. There are infinite things that make me lose in infinite ways. You could take either one of these. I really don't think it matters. Maybe it kind of does? And then I'm probably... No, it doesn't. It doesn't. There. I drew a land. So, counter and kill their commander? Yep. Oh, can't even do that. Nope, of course not. Alright. Anything but a land. Actually, there's a ton of very bad draws, so... Yeah, there's just a boatload of abysmal draws. Come on! Anything but a land, though. Come on. Why I don't even know why I'm getting bothered by this. I said it's basically unwinnable, and here it is being unwinnable. Are there any draws I have? I don't think so. Oh, it gets a flying counter. Oh, jeez. I didn't know that. They shouldn't have killed my commander. They should have just put the 2 damage here. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter, probably, at all. Oh, look, a land. No way. Four, 5, 6. It's just not enough, is it? Nope. It's not even close. Alright. And they also fetched for an island, so blatantly obvious counterspell. Yep, I should have just conceded when I saw that in the command zone. just waste my time. At no point did I have a firm advantage or anything. I was just losing from turn 2 onwards. I wonder if I put this in Historic Brawl, if I'd see more evened out matchups. Because in Standard that is not the case whatsoever. What does World Map do in Standard? Let's find out. Apparently you just get a mountain. Alright. I don't know why it isn't itself just a mountain, but sure. So, mana. Let's do that. I probably can swing. Yep. I can swing here. This is a 6/6. I can't block it, so. Alright, do they get the game-winning equipment immediately? Let's see. Not necessarily. Wait, why did it have haste? Oh, because of the fire crystal itself. Alright, I probably can't take 22 damage. But I have, no real outs to this, I don't think. So it's just gonna win slowly. Yay! So fun. Lord knows when I play that commander, it doesn't do that ever. I not once actually got that equipment my opponent just put on there. Not a single time when I played that commander. Pretty sure it was in my deck. Maybe it wasn't. I didn't have the fire crystal. Did I? No. Wait, yes? No. Actually, Poison Dart Frog would have won the game on the spot. That's funny. Of all the things to do the thing, Poison Dart Frog coming in. Alright, this is a scenario where playing the World Wagon is just a better idea than my commander. What does this do? Okay. Oh, wait, that's actually good too. Is that too slow? Boom, boom. Yeah, I should play the World Wagon. And then I can Mossborn later. Oh, sure. Wow. Really? Huh. They didn't even hesitate with that. Didn't even hesitate. So, 4/5. Yep, alright, full retail commander. Just get a land in play. And then start casting things. What? I've never seen this cast in... I've never really seen it cast in Brawl in general, but that's kind of crazy. They see my whole hand, but... Sure. It was a bit odd to me. Very strange. Okay, well, you have information now. I don't know what you do with it, but... You let me know. You tell me what you do with it. This is a 5/5. Opponent's still not casting their commander. Okay. Opponent's deck is confusing me, giving me great anxiety. Let's play Palaka Worm? Because I haven't played it in Standard yet. It also kills their commander with Archdruid's Charm. They do cast it. They have a spider to go with it. Fascinating. Artifacts increase your opponent control. Sure. Opponent leaves their commander in the command zone. I mean, the graveyard. I wonder what that means. No way. They enter tapped, so I can't do anything. Alright, dead to anything. I'm also not even presenting lethal, even if they have not lethal this turn. It's 1 damage opponent. It's not rocket science. There you go. Figured it out. Alright, 5 color value pile, sweep my board, win the game. Cool. There are a lot of cards that are decent against that. Actually, again, Poison Dart Frog, again, is actually kind of solid as this reaching Death Toucher. If it came in untapped, I was kind of just fine. Plant, worm, Hydra. Alright, my opponent has that thing in 3 turns. I have a must-answer threat in play. Mm-hmm. Yep, no surprise there. Okay, must answer threat number 2. I can pick up the Ouroboros with my commanders in web. Didn't actually think of that. Frogifies are like just not an issue when you have that ability, I guess. Is this a human? Ugh. Cavern Souls, please. Them doing nothing is hilarious. Alright, so let's play... We're gonna play it on... Warrior? Because I don't care if my commander gets countered. And let's swing. I don't know what card would change my attack decision. Wait, what? Cassish? Okay. Very interesting. So they get another thing, but the Hydra doesn't lose its counters. It's also in a few turns, it's not just right now. They haven't even gotten the first spell with this yet, I don't think they have. Takes quite a while for that to start doing something. Alright, so they... Short, nope. We got second draw 3 thing later. I think this is the most I've ever seen this do. And so far I haven't really been concerned with any of its stuff yet. Oh, -5. That's toxic. When creature becomes tapped or is dealt damage, destroy it. That is hilariously annoying. That's actually one of the more efficient things against that. Wow. Well done. Alright, we can redeploy this. Is that the right thing to do? Yeah, I think infinite scaling is a good idea. Oh, I can also play this, huh? Let's try to go to combat first, because that doesn't matter. Okay, it worked. And now I can swing with you. And I will. I don't care if it dies. In fact, I hope it does. It actually does. Maybe. Oh. Dang it. Opponent thought. They decided to think. Tragic. Okay, send this out. More threats, more problems. I didn't play that first before this would trigger because I don't want to get hit by like an unsummon or something. And again, this doesn't need counters on it with the Ouroboros. You got rid of Opt? What do you mean? Isn't Opt like the thing here? River's Rebuke would be ideal, I'm sure. Although it makes all of your Frogifies really weird. Cast spells of Zil, they have flash. So far, that has not... would not fundamentally change much here. I am going to go straight to combat. Or I could play this now, but again, the stats don't matter. No, we're just going to play this. We're just going to put it in play. I don't care if there's an unsummon. My opponent has way more problems than dealing with the Ouroboros. So... my main issue is just River's Rebuke anyways. When this becomes tapped... alright, so that just can't swing. You can, and you... okay, yeah. I mean, my opponent is doing everything they want to, and they have all the time in the world. I mean, they saw over a third of their deck. They're doing all the stuff, but, like, this is just a... I tried to play this. It is so difficult. I mean, it's kind of completely impossible in Historic Brawl because the game is over by the time you get to the first spell that you cast for free. But in Standard, my opponent knows they have this showing up. They know this is going to show up. They know this is showing... like, the value is there. It's happening, the card draw. But you have to cast spells to trigger this in the first place. So a lot of the cards you copy are just copy enablers, right? They're not, like, the swingy, giant, scary cards. And then the other half of your deck has to be, like... I don't even really know. I can't imagine counterspells are too popular in this strategy because you can't suspend them. And you also have to cast them on your opponent's turn, which doesn't really... like, you can cast Disdainful Stroke into Opt on your opponent's turn and have an Opt in 10 years. It's just so difficult to get this to do anything, and the cards you do it with are not winning the game, right? Especially... the suspend is it 4, right? Yeah, it's suspend 4, which is insane. I think this would have been perfectly fine if it was suspend 2, honestly. I really think it would have been fine, but suspend 4 is like, oof. Oof. Alright, well, at least I saw it do something for once. I kind of forgot that card existed. I have seen it twice now, right? I think this is the second time we've seen it. Ever. That wasn't me playing it. Pretty sure that's the second time. It did more in that game than last time. I've been seeing a lot of Felithars. Kinda spooky. Kinda spooky. I have not played... let's play you. Come on. You can do it. I haven't played, whatchamacallit. Felithar in Standard. So, World Wagon, right? Yep. Actually, well, let's, why are we doing that? Yeah, we should do this. Stats. My opponent is obligated to play their commander, but if they don't, we're also happy about that, so. I like this line. That is, what? Oh, right. My opponent is Felithar. Almost Forbore. Okay. Palaka Worm. Oh, I love it. I love how this is a rare, too. Look at that. Pretty sure it's an uncommon in 90% of Magic's history, but it started as a rare. It was a rare in 2019, apparently. You eat that food. You eat that food. I like this style of Felithar. It's kind of neat. Not sacking creatures is like the most satisfying thing. It's pretty cool. How close is my opponent to being just completely not alive? I think they're almost just dead next turn? They just straight up took that. Alright, so that becomes 14. Yeah, now they're just not a conscious entity next turn if I cast this. They can do all the damage in the world to me. I think I'm fine. Well, no, they can't. They can do up to 32 damage to me. And then I'm fine. Any more than that, then I am obviously not fine. Okay, that was not tapped out for. I don't know why. That is swinging into the Great Worm. Interesting. Wait, what? But your commander. What are you... Okay. Guess they... Oh, they just wanted to have the largest creature in all the issues. Oh, also, apparently there's a reanimate spell, just like the other 55 players. Okay, so I can cast this, swing for three creatures, 15, 25, 30, 18, my opponent's alive, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. But they have to block with this thing. So this is the right idea. They have to block with the Scourge. Which is what I want to see here. And obviously all the other blocks are just losing creatures as they block. No, you should keep the... No, you need to put that there. It's... Well, you could kill something else. Okay, yeah, you can just kill something else instead if you want. It's all the same functionally. Actually, the worm, maybe not the best idea to kill because it can come back. Alright, you need a board wipe. Are those tokens? Is it creature tokens? Creature tokens. Alright, the treasures don't count. That's not it. Alright. They can reanimate their commander with this last card. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in the command zone, so... I love all these little interactions. It's kind of neat. Yeah, they're just super, super doomed. They could have killed the Great Worm, and I would not have Trample. And there would just be a Crater Hoof that's giant, but it doesn't have Trample. So, they could have stayed alive, and wouldn't have even needed to block with all their creatures. Yeah, if they got rid of this instead... I can reanimate it, though, by removing counters from, like, Crater Hoof or this thing. And it could come back, and then the scaling would show up again. Yo, actually, wait, no, this would... They can't really ever kill this. Oh, yes, they can. What am I talking about? This doesn't reanimate. For some reason, I thought this just... Oh, this reanimates anything. No, that's not how it works. Yeah. Okay, so... Nothing giant would have Trample. And they could stay alive. And then my turn would probably... I have 8 mana here. So, I don't need more mana with Overlord. And this does have Trample. So yeah, we'd probably just play these 2 cards this turn. Oh no, we can't, because mana dorks are swinging. So I'm probably just playing the O'Hare on its own. Probably. Poor blurb. Forgot Summon Bahamut was even in my deck. Where have you been? This is a loose keep. But we like those here. Apparently. Leaves the battlefield? No, when it dies. Okay, probably a more stable, steady thing. Is this the same person I played against a second ago? I'm not sure. Why did they play their land first? That was a massive mistake. Yeah, oops indeed. Alright, they have a combat trick, silly me. Looks like that oops doesn't matter, because I decided to block. I am probably gonna lose now. Yep. It's looking like it. Well, that's awkward. I think I was probably completely fine if I didn't block there. Yeah, probably. Oh well. Didn't respect anything. To be fair, I don't respect that commander whatsoever, so I'd probably do it again. I'd probably block again. No respect for that one. Okay, a weird Ragavan that takes 10 years. Never played against this before. It does have Menace, though. Can I play Beanstalk first? Alright, I am most assuredly playing Beanstalk first. I think. Although, it's 5 mana. I should probably Archdruid's Charm. I didn't expect them to kill that. I guess it makes sense, though. Yeah, there's no fancy land here. Much as I wish there were. Can I just play up the Beanstalk? Probably not. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. Yep, whatever. Like, what am I supposed to... Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should have played it, but then I'm just unyieldingly slow against the rest of the universe. But it's not like I'm blocking anyways. Yeah, I guess I could have played Beanstalk. I really don't know. I don't know. Looks like we would have drawn... Oh, wait, they didn't take it. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, Massacre Girl. I thought that was something else. I can play this. Everything has Menace. It's really annoying. Okay, I'm just going to play this card. I could have swung there. Whoops. I highly doubt 4 damage matters, but I could have swung there. I like have to play Palaka Worm so I don't die to damage. My opponent is playing Bloodghast. That's strange to me. Yeah, I have to play this, because if the sire dies, I'm, like, screwed. I need something out of my creature when it dies here, and Blockworm does gain life, and that's pretty significant. I don't think this game is about me attacking. Looks like Blockworm's going to die immediately. Oh, okay. It looks like both my creatures are dying immediately. Same thing. I'm going to argue it makes no sense to kill this first, but they did. I don't know why. If the idea was to, yeah, I don't know. They said oops, so I guess it was a mistake. They did not sacrifice Bloodghast to... Wait, what? Oh, they said oops, that's why, because Bloodghast... Right. Alright, more generic random stuff. 8, not enough mana to do that. Do I just play this as a blocker? Yeah. And then I'm not going to play Overlord as a thing. I'm going to play it as a real creature. I think, yeah. It's vastly more valuable as that, so that doesn't do anything. Okay, I don't know why they had to think about that. I have to play this. I probably should just play another thing, and ideally the card on top of my opponent's deck is a land, and I think it has to be a land, otherwise they would have cast it with their trigger? Apparently it wasn't a land. Come on! Come on! Jeez. Come on. That is ridiculous. Alright, well, I feel like I really have a lot of opportunities to stabilize against this. That's rather frustrating. Come on. Opponents just had everything go their way that whole game. Really tragic. Everything went my opponent's way that entire game. It's nuts. Well, I suppose, in all fairness, their commander didn't steal anything that would have won on the spot. Aside from their commander triggers, though, everything was just absolutely perfect. They can't even have a bad top deck. I was really hoping it was a land. If it was a land, I think I actually turn the corner that very turn and just start to immediately win. I start winning very quickly that exact turn. If it wasn't exactly a removal spell. Ugh, so annoying. First time I've seen that commander. Very strange one. I like the Bloodghast idea. I actually haven't even played Vivian Reed today. There's a lot of cards in this deck I have not played. Kind of weird. Wait, what did they take? I wasn't looking. Ouroborean. Ouroborean. Can't even say it. Vivian can just get that right back, though. It's not. That's not the concerning portion and aspect of this game here. What on earth is that? Getting your upkeep, discard a card, then create a treasure token. Okay, that is a card. Yes, sir. We shall play this and demand stuff. Opponent needs a removal spell. Every deck has had a removal spell, so... They get rid of Stitcher's Wings. Alright. That works, I guess. They didn't find a removal spell, but they had it anyways. Do I block this? I think I do. It does involve my face losing life quickly, and I don't want that necessarily. But there doesn't appear to be a removal spell. But appearances can be deceiving. Looks like there is a removal spell, of course. Can't have anything. Amazing. I can gamble with the adventure here. Doesn't seem like a reliable idea, though. Is this unblockable? Of course it is. Okay, that is a card that I really should play. And let's get rid of my opponent's commander. Maybe that matters. So, Palaka Worm is just a card that my opponent knows about. Let's just play it. I think I can swing for 3. We are able to deal significant damage here, I think. Like, if it's a damage race, I think we're fine, kinda? Yeah, we are kind of winning a damage race. Not too great. Hey, we got Sire of Sevens to do. Let's just cast this. And we can swing here. Because now I'm the one presenting problems, and 7 damage will matter. I don't have like an Alpha Strike or anything like that, so... The ward paying 7 is also not free. Well, that's a lot of haste that didn't get into the red zone. So... straight to combat. That's 6. Sure. So now this has hexproof because they can't pay for the ward. I can pick this up and recommit the spell. I think that's the best thing to do here. I don't think this hero's Bane is doing anything, so. I'm not convinced I need blockers that are not the Sire of 7 Deaths, obviously. Let's get Overlord. I thought I already played a land. Did I not already? I thought I already had played a land there. Oh, that was weird. They are in top deck mode, so... I'm at 22. They only have 1 card in their hand. I don't believe them flipping their commander gets them there, so... That doesn't do it, but it gets more triggers, sure. They should be putting it all on this, shouldn't they? Because I can just block the 9 too. That makes an 8/8, but it doesn't get into the commit, like the combat. Doesn't get into the red zone. Oh, I can trade. Yeah, I can kill the shark too. Yeah. Get schmeeded. Okay, well, it's the first time I've seen this, and to the surprise of, well, not me, but the Fleam side doesn't do anything. You just play it as like a, what is it? An invisible stalker? It's kind of what it was. There were plenty of ways, though. My opponent was repeatedly, rather non-stop, interested in doing the back thing, which would have given mayhem to some cards, because they had a bunch of draw discard. This turn, I guess Arcane Signet would have been funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for all of it to come together, and the most successful thing my opponent was doing this game by a large margin was just attacking me with an unblockable creature. It would have been way less scary, though, if it wasn't for the scaling damage off of the... Was it this thing? Yeah, like just +2/+0 over and over was kind of scary. I mean, they're getting there. I've never actually even seen this card before. Yeah, I like what I saw. Just didn't get there. It just did not get there. Not for the opponent. Okay, I've had my fill of this. I'm over it. I am over this commander. It is different from the other one, though. It is quite different. I would actually say it's better. I think it is better. It has a lot more matchups, I feel, that are better. Although it does have the issue of... Oh, hey! Look at that. I got another Mythic Wildcard. Wow. Sweet. I got really lucky with another one there. Look at that. Alright. So, this commander, I think, is better than Sandman. in my opinion, because the Sandman strategy of reanimating your commander, the one that's equal to your land count, the one we just played the other day. This one is not trying to recur itself over and over and have this giant scaling threat that is difficult to deal with, like forever or permanently deal with. There are plenty of ways to permanently deal with it, though, like Frogifies and stuff. You can also simply kill it over and over. Whereas this thing, you can't really Frogify my creatures because I can just pick them up within web, assuming I can swing it with the thing or have it get tapped in some way. So it plays around Frogifies pretty well, and casting ramp spells out of the command zone, I just like this more than the other one. You just have a bunch of giant questions you keep asking your opponent until they eventually just can't answer one of them, and then that one just probably wins the game. And I think that's just slightly better. This is way more like, traditional ramp into big stuff than the other commander, where you just keep trying to recur your commander as the threat itself. I really just think this is better. You also have a vastly wider range of angles you're attacking your opponent with, as like a mono green thing as opposed to the other one. So I really like this. Picking up Llanowar Elves felt a little bit worse than I was expecting it to when playing this on turn 2 with Llanowar Elves, but still usually always worth it, right? It's still just kind of the best thing this commander is doing, and nothing's even close to that thing. Up the Beanstalk and other cards similar to... Well, it's not really anything similar to it, but Up the Beanstalk is awkward, and this happened almost every single time, where when I play this, let's say I didn't have Llanowar Elves or whatever, and I play this on turn 2 with nothing else to do, it feels bad, because then I'm probably not playing this turn 3, and then that's like really awkward. And if I'm playing this on turn 2 or 3, then I don't really have time to play this. I could play it first, but that's just incredibly awkward, especially when my hand might already have a bunch of stuff that's castable as like repeating threats. It's hard to find a turn to play this, because usually the turn I do play this, it's like the only thing I can do, because otherwise, like, I play this and I have 3 more mana left and I can't play even something like this or like that. So it's just awkward. But I don't know, sometimes maybe you just don't have to play it. I think trying to cast this before all of my Beanstalk trigger cards had actually cost me 1 or 2 games today. It was like, oh, I gotta play this, and then I start playing my giant things that are gonna win the game. But instead of, winning the game with the win the game cards, I'm like, oh, I'll just take a turn off so all of my cards now draw a card. So that's not normally a thing with this card, I feel. But this case it was, and it was incredibly annoying, and it happened all the time. So just something to think about there. Pivoting off of this because you literally do not have the time to cast it is something to pay more attention to, maybe, if you're used to just windmill slamming it. Especially in some matchups where you don't need more things to find. If you're already casting things that would trigger this, eventually one of those you would assume is going to get you there. But either way, it's just kind of awkward. This does kind of fold to, like, control decks, I would say. Counter spells are not a big thing in Standard. I keep saying that, and that hasn't changed over the course of a day here. But the removal spam just laughs in the face of strategies like this. I only saw, I think, 1 board wipe today. I think there was only 1 sweeper. Whether that's because I wasn't presenting enough things at once to ever get someone to cast it, or I just never bumped anyone that had any other than 1 player. I don't know, but sweepers, I'm going to imagine, are a bit of a pain here to deal with a deck like this, even if you can repeatedly cast your effective Golos out of the command zone over and over. The giant things in question are a little weird. I mean, you always have Craterhoof as like your out. I do really like Vivian Reed. There's just plenty of things Vivian Reed does that I'm just a fan of. It has a fairly relevant ultimate, kind of. The Vigilance is the big one to me, so I can swing and also, block. But if that's the thing you're already doing, then like, oh, this is all... The ultimate is basically you win all kind of combat encounters in the red zone that involve your opponent's creatures trying to block and removal and all that jazz, combat tricks. So, like, that's just what we're doing. But yeah, the vigilance is just satisfying. I just like that idea. I wouldn't say trample is too relevant because everything's indestructible. You're just gonna win eventually with all your creatures that your opponent can't kill. So it doesn't. It just closes the game out faster, I guess. Pretty nice commander though. I mean, Planeswalker. But yeah, and this is okay. It's okay. This is pretty nice. This is okay. It's not insane. When it comes to all the... Actually, let's look. I don't even know. Even though I just looked. What are the green... Like, the serious green commanders in Standard? I don't even really like Tifa because there are so many ways to deal with this. But Bristly Bill is alright. This has been decent, although this is not mono green. I've seen Loot a few times. This has not been very impressive to me. Neither is Kona in Standard, honestly. I have not seen this in Standard. I've seen this one other time. I suppose you could actually just play Vivian Reed. That'd be kind of neat. Yeah, there's not a lot of mono green commanders, really, at all. But I would say, for the most part, they're kind of doing things somewhat different. I've even seen this. I actually lost to this in Standard. I didn't think there were enough Death Touch creatures to pull that off, but apparently there are. Finn had gotten me once in Standard there. But yeah, it's alright. It's alright. I mean, it's a common. What do what can you expect? It did way better than most common commanders would do, which is a good sign. It's got like it has a piece of text that is connected to one of the strongest commanders of all time in the form of Golos, and again, even in with having nothing else to do, it's still just really good. And it's in green, right? If this effect was in red, which I think it actually is, there's like a 3-mana commander that you get a mountain when you cast it. As long as it doesn't die, you get to keep the mountain. But I think when it dies, you do lose the mountain. But that's not necessarily the same as like Koth or Liliana of the Dark Realms or whatever, the squirrel one that gets swamps. But yep, if you like mono green and you don't really want to think about stuff, you just cast the green ramp spell. There you go. Well, let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe.